Which player do you dislike the most? AK, basically, who's the biggest? Who's the
Maybe.
biggest in football, in your opinion?
Oh God, I actually don't.
Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, welcome to Can They Kick It. I am your host Kaiser. So on this channel we have a special series called My Love of the Game. This is where I introduce a special guest purely just to come on to the show, talk about their favourite club, ask them about their association and their history with the club. And then towards the end of the video we will have a two teams, one being the club team and a very special over team, which we'll reveal later on in the video. So joining me today, I have a very special guest. I have Sani, that sports guy.
Hello, 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 ladies and gents, and welcome to another Fireside Chat.
Come on! That's what we're talking about. Fight back!
Sani, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very, very well, Kaiser. I'm absolutely buzzing for the first episode of Can They Kick It? And yeah, I'm doing well. What can I say?
Excellent. Love having you here, pal. If you aren't aware, Sani, his socials are just down below. You can find him on Instagram, you can find him on TikTok, and you can find him on YouTube. This is the guy who loves sports. He is sports crazy. Football, cricket, basketball, boxing. What else, Sani? What else have I missed out?
Tennis, golf, NFL, UFC, snooker, darts, you name it, dodgeball, marble racing, anything you can think of as a sport, I bloody follow for sure.
You need to check out Sani's channel. Honestly, it's so funny, it's so entertaining, and it's you can tell it comes from the heart. Sani has a couple of different kind of so I'd say elements to the show. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You have the Sixth Sense, where it's I'm guessing it's your kind of thoughts and predictions for upcoming events.
Yep.
We've got the Sani Sesh, which is basically like a match day vlog or a vlog event where you'll go to the it could be the cricket or the boxing, which you covered recently, actually, didn't you?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so the Sani search is basically, you've hit the nail on the head. It's just me going to a sporting event, taking you guys through the day of a life of basically an average fan, basically.
And also you've got the Sani fireside chats, which I feel is it more of like a personal kind of reflection on like life itself. Explain that to
Yeah, so the
us.
fireside chats, it's basically a bit of a historical condensation. So there was a president called Franklin D. Roosevelt, also known as FDR. And when he was president, he had these, well, when he was trying to be president, he had these fireside chats where he would talk to the American public about things going on in America at the time. I'm not saying I'm the president of America, but I basically have these fireside chats where I talk about, let's say, previous sessions I've been to, or talk about things on my mind that are related to the sporting world that just require a bit more thought, not just something you see on Instagram, for example.
Yeah, they're really insightful. They're really entertaining. Also, as well, he's turned into a bit of a meme king with some of the videos I saw. The most recent one I saw the other day was the Mbappe one. If you've seen The Wolf of Wall Street, the famous scene of him not leaving, check it out. Also, the Boris Becker one's quite entertaining as well, with the recent court outcome of that. So yeah, again, details are there. Check him out. Funny guy, top guy. But yeah, again, thank you for coming onto the show. I really appreciate it. So the first question, really, and it's a bit of an obvious one because you're wearing it, but which team do you support?
I'm going to hide it right now because we haven't really had a good season. But yeah, as you guys have clearly seen, it's Manchester United Football Club, also known as Newton Heath, back in 1878. So yeah, Man United, thick Man United, through and through Man United, and yeah, what can I say, Kaiser? Not been a great season, has it?
It hasn't. Actually, yeah. What are your thoughts on the new manager? Actually, while we're here, we'll talk about the present, and then I think we'll go on to the glory days, I suppose. So yeah,
Course,
what are your
yeah, well,
thoughts?
I know you talk about glory days. We need the glory days back, but I mean, his name's obviously Eric Ten Hag, also known as ETH. Obviously, that's an acronym for Ethereum. Ethereum's not really doing that well in the market, but let's hope ETH, Eric Ten Hag, does well for Manchester United. I mean, my thoughts on the manager. I think we need to take a pinch of salt. We've had, ex-great managers come in the past, such as Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal. They hadn't really worked out for them. I know Jose did all right in his first season, even second season when he finished second, but I think we need to give Ten Hag time. I like what he's already said in the press conference, but again, we've seen previous managers not do as well who come, with previous, huge accolades. So with Eric Ten Hag, I like what I'm hearing, but again, let's take some time and let's take a step back because it's going to be a long road back to the top.
Definitely. Just going back to the references, Eric Ten Hag. I've seen a lot of Eric Ten Heisenberg posted on Twitter. Breaking Bad Habits was another one I saw. I don't know if you're a gamer, but if Man United don't sort their stuff out, he's going to be ending up looking like I don't know if you've ever seen Max Payne 3 or played Max Payne 3.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to look like Max Payne 3 in the favelas, man. I'm telling you. But yeah, they better sort their stuff out. Cool. So. With obviously Manchester United being your club, what's your first football memory? United or not Man United? Just what is your first general football memory?
I think my first proper memory that I can think of is probably when Ruud van Nistelrooy missed that penalty against Arsenal in 03-04, that season, where he hit the crossbar, Martin Keown's doing the crane dance over him. Yeah, that was my first memory. Well, not really a great memory because we drew that game, and obviously that was one reason why Arsenal went invincible that season. So yeah, weird memory, but yeah, that penalty miss especially, I'll still remember that until the day I die. I'll never forget that moment for sure.
So that was your first ever time you saw football itself, and you saw that game. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first one I can think of.
Because that's quite an iconic game to be your first memory. So yeah, that's why I'm asking. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm not going to lie. If Arsenal were wearing red and they were playing at Highbury that year, I probably would have supported Arsenal instead. I'm not going to lie. But seeing obviously Ruud van Nistelrooy, jokes aside, he was my favourite player growing up, and that was a great game, great season as well. I don't remember the season that much, but I remember that game. But what I do remember at the end of the season was the Euros that took place that summer in Portugal. I remember those games quite vividly. Got quite a few VCR cassettes downstairs that are still, with the games of those tournaments. So yeah.
What was the score in that? That was the 0-0, right?
Yeah, it was 0-0. Van Nistelrooy missed the penalty. It was so annoying. It was the final minute. He had the penalty because he got. Vieira got sent off that game as well. But anyway, he got the penalty, and last minute, and Arsenal hadn't lost in God knows how many games, and yeah, hit the crossbar, and we all know what happened for Arsenal that season. They went invincible. So yeah.
Oh, if only he scored that penalty. But yeah. What was the first game you ever attended in a football match?
This is another bad memory, to be fair. Sorry, it's just bad memories at the start. To be honest. I don't know why Kaiser's even going down this road, but yeah, first game I went to was Man United Liverpool at Anfield in the FA Cup. I think it was the third round. It was the 05-06 season when Peter Crouch scored and they beat us 1-0, and that was the first time they'd beaten Man United in the FA Cup for 60 or 70 years or something stupid like that. So yeah, not a great memory.
You did say the score. What was the score again? Did you say?
1-0 Liverpool. Peter Crouch scored.
Peter
I
Crouch.
think it was a header.
If it's Crouchy, it's going to be a header, isn't it? Pretty much 9 times out of 10.
He got the robot out as well. But I think what's very important with that game is that was the game where Alan Smith broke his leg. When John Onorisa went to hit a free kick, he hit the free kick, and then the ball trapped under Smith's leg as he went to close it down, and he broke his leg. It was a really bad injury. So yeah, probably famous for the wrong reasons, but yeah, that was the game, and yeah, it wasn't a great game to obviously be a Man United fan for sure.
So, as a Man United fan, what is your favourite player, past favourite player?
I know the obvious one you could say is Cristiano Ronaldo, but for me, it has to be Ruud van Nistelrooy. That guy, for me growing up, all I wanted to do on the football pitch when I was a kid, in the school playground, whatever, was score goals. And that was because of big man Rude. And that guy, what an absolute bagsman he was. He was a poacher, he was a finisher. I still remember seeing highlights of him in the past where he scored this unbelievable goal from the half. Well, he started from the halfway line, took his past all the Fulham players and scored an absolute belter of a goal. So yeah, Van Nistelrooy for me was my favourite player growing up. He was just something special about that guy. It's just a shame that he didn't win that many trophies at Man United, one, and two, he was 5 goals off 100 Premier League goals in his career, obviously in the Prem, and he's only played like 150 games, which is a ridiculous record. But yeah, I'm not really salty about that one if you hadn't recognised.
Yeah, like you said, he was an absolute gunman, wasn't he? He was just banging in left, right, and centre, and he's probably something you could. Although they've got Ronaldo now, but that kind of striker, yeah, he was immense. I remember watching him so many times as well. When you'd see like match of the day and the highlights and just like goal of the month. No, most of the time, he would be in that. So yeah, who is your current favourite player? This will be interesting.
Manchester United.
Well, then again, I think I know who it could be, but yeah.
It's probably going to be the player I've got him on the back of the shirt. To be fair, I've got him. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo. I haven't really got that many good players. I don't know if you've seen that meme of that kid that gets asked about, oh yeah, what do you think of Man United? They're like, they're all crap. They're all rubbish.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not really great at the moment, but I'd say Ronaldo. I mean, that guy's carried us pretty much this whole season. So yeah, he's a legend. Legend of the game, legend of the club. What more can I say? He speaks for himself.
Yeah, the goals, the trophies, it's, like I said, the records, he doesn't have to speak, it speaks for itself, like you rightly said. Yeah, fantastic player.
Even in celebrations when he does the...
Yeah. Yes. Had to get a scene on this show, man. Although this next question, you could have a choice of more than one. Favorite manager?
Oh, well, the obvious one's Ferguson, but I can't. Let's change it up a bit. I'm gonna go for a manager that hasn't managed Manchester United before, and I'm gonna go Jurgen Klopp. And the reason I'm gonna go with Jurgen Klopp is because when I was around, well, I'm giving my age away here, but when I was around 11, 12, I was watching quite a lot of the Dortmund games when he was manager, especially when they won the league. And that team that he had at Dortmund, the way they played was just amazing. I used to play with him all the time on FIFA as well, but that manager, the way he'd get you the players up, the passion, I loved it. I mean, put it this way, when he got the job at Liverpool, I was heartbroken. I really wanted him to come to Man United, but yeah, I love Jurgen Klopp. I mean, other shouts, obviously, Pep, amazing manager, what he did, especially at Barcelona. What he's doing at City is great, but what he did at Barca, amazing. Obviously, I could have said Jose, but again, he was at Man United for a bit. I think Jupp Heynckes at Bayern was quite a good manager. I liked him as well. But yeah, especially those three. And then obviously Don Carlo as well. I think those 4 are the ones I can definitely think of, that I'm like, yeah, these managers were amazing. I know you said give me one manager, but it's really, really hard given the, quality that's out there.
And what about your club manager, for United? Again, probably an obvious one, but there could be another one, which... many people don't.
I mean, I'm going to check my clock, and I'm going to give it away. I mean, it's 90th minute. I need an extra additional 5. That's who the best manager is for Manchester. Yeah, it's got to be Ferguson. I mean, I've got his book somewhere over there as well.
Not
great
Big Ron.
Book, great manager.
Not Big Ron Atkinson.
Not Big Ron. Not Big Ron. I mean, not even Wilf McGuinness either as well. Which I don't know. I don't know if he was found out cheating with the player's wife, or it might have been someone else.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One of the managers did. But anyway, I remember someone told me at the stadium once. But anyway, I'm digressing. It has to be Sir Alex Ferguson. What he achieved, the longevity, even coming from Aberdeen, having just won the European Cup Winners' Cup as well, all that, breaking the old firm's stranglehold in the Scottish Premier League, and then coming to England, knocking Liverpool off their effing perch, as he said, and like I said, accolades, the teams, the memories. I'm just happy that growing up, Manchester United were what they were. Because if they were what they are right now, I'd hate to be a Man United fan.
I think honourable mentions, maybe Sir Matt Busby as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Sir Matt Busby, absolute great shout. The only reason I didn't say it is because he wasn't really in my era. But I mean, I have a lot of respect for Sir Matt Busby. The Busby Babes, everything that happened as a result of the Munich air disaster, that crisis, that disaster, absolute tragedy that was. And then he built the club up. He didn't have to be a manager after that incident, but he decided to come back to Man United, made them the force, won us our first European Cup in 1968, had the Holy Trinity in Best, Law and Charlton. I mean, yeah, legend, and I'm really the only thing I have against Manchester United right now is I wish they named the East Stand the Sir Matt Busby Stand, because it's the only stand at Old Trafford where it's not named after something. So you have the Sir Alex Ferguson stand, the Sir Matt Busby, the Sir Bobby Charlton stand, the Stretford end, and then opposite that, the East Stand. It's just called the East Stand. But it's funny because when you go outside the stadium, you see the Sir Matt Busby statue. It's like it's perfect to be called the Sir Matt Busby Stand, but listen, I'm not the higher ups at Manchester United, am I now?
If Man United social is watching this, listen to what this guy's saying. Get a petition going. What's your favourite United chant? They are known for having very, how do I say this?
Choice.
Creative chants.
I do like the Viva Ronaldo one, only because because I went to the Man United Spurs game where he got the hat trick, and the stadium was just rocking. All you heard was Viva Ronaldo. It was like a party atmosphere, like everyone was jumping up and all sorts. I'd say that's one of my favourites. Obviously, you got the classic UNITD, United are the team for me. But again, I think it gets a bit boring after a bit. Man United fans might kill me for it, but it does get a bit boring. And then you've got the classic. When I did Georgie Best song, basically, that's another classic. I think those three are probably my favourite songs, to be honest with you. There's a good one at the moment that's going around the concourse of the Anthony Elanga one, which is based on "Rhythm Is a Dancer," that song. So it's like that's pretty good.
Oh, was it Anthony Elanga or something like that?
Anthony Elanga came from Scandinavia, scoring goals everywhere. Yeah, it basically goes. I'm not really a singer, so I don't want to continue.
No, that's cool, man.
Window over
Express
there,
yourself.
it's not smashing, but yeah. But yeah, I think those chants are just like I said. You want creative chants that gets the crowd up. I mean, the Bruno chant again, that's pretty good. Kind of copied from Ronaldo's chant. But yeah, even the Ryan Giggs one, which is I mean, I know he doesn't play for Man United, but that one was quite a good one. The whole Giggs will tear you apart again. That was quite a good one. What else? Ji-sung Park's was quite good. I know Ji-sung Park doesn't like his chant, but in terms of creativity, most fans have to admit it was quite funny, especially at that time when that humour was a bit more accepted back then. But obviously right now it's not really a song worth chanting about. But
yeah, it's not deemed appropriate now for obvious reasons, but I know which one you're on about. Yeah, it's the stereotype. Yeah. No Ollie at the wheel, no?
No, I didn't really like that song. I thought it was a bit long. Again, I'm not trying to showcase if I was Ollie in or Ollie out, but I didn't really like it. There was one good song when I'm trying to think how it went, but it was basically about scoring in '99, and it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or something. But I need to think of the song. I can't remember, but that was quite a good song because that was again quite catchy. But yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Wasn't really a fan of that chant, but that's just me personally.
What's your favourite Man United kit?
Oh, that is tough. I mean, I'm wearing one right now. I did like it, but in terms of my favourite one, I liked the 2008-9 season one where we had the blue kit. It was in remembrance for the 1968 Champions League, European Cup that we won. So that was I really liked that kit. It was the one where Ronaldo scored that free kick against Arsenal from like 40 yards out. I've got that kit, to be fair. It's either that or the 2004 to 2006 Man United home kit where the Man United badge was in the middle, had the Vodafone logo sponsor, the Night tick was like here. For me, that was like an iconic shirt because it was one of the first football shirts I ever got. And growing up, obviously, that was the Man United team that I knew. It was just synonymous with the Premier League, Manchester United. I love that shirt. So it's either the 2008-9 third kit, the blue one, or the 2004 to 2006 Man United home kit. Well, I've got both then. So I've got the home and the away. So I've given you two answers.
That was a nice little segue there. You mentioned the first jersey. Which one was it? What was your first jersey?
So it was a Ruud van Nistelrooy 2004 to 2005 Man United home jersey where the Man United badge was in the middle, the Night tick was on there. I think quite a few kits at that time had that design going for them. So it was quite a popular design. I love that kit. I've still got it somewhere in the attic. So yeah, that was my favourite kit and my first kit as well. I used to wear that all the time. It was surprised it didn't stink of BO or something.
Yeah, I think brands, they have like a template and then they just follow it and they just do it with like different clubs and countries. And yeah, I know what you mean. I remember, was it the Total 90 when the international teams had the circle with the numbers
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Nike? Yeah,
yeah. That's it.
I remember that kind of period as well. Yeah.
That was the first like that's the like so the Euro 2004 was when I saw those kits, especially the Portugal kit and the Netherlands kit, and I loved that design. And I was like, I wish they had more of these kits. So I've actually got the Figo 2004 Portugal home shirt with the circle in the middle. So yeah, that shows my love for those kits.
What's your favourite club goal, Man United goal?
Oof,
And there's
God,
probably a
this is
lot to
tough.
choose from. Or if you can't pinpoint one, just like a couple.
Okay, so I'm just thinking. So Makeda 2008-9, where he,
Oh yeah,
Giggs passed the ball to him, did a Cruyff turn. Well, not a Cruyff turn, but he turned inside, bent it bottom right corner. That was a key goal, obviously for obvious reasons. We needed to win that game, and that was just the scenes after that were as amazing. I really, really liked Owen's goal that he scored in the 4-3 derby against City. It was like a crazy game. We were 3-2 up, then we conceded 3-3, and then he scored in the last minute. Crazy goal. Van Persie's goal that won us the league against, well, I say won us the league, but it was in that game where we won the league against Villa in 2012-13, where Rooney put the ball over the top and Van Persie, first time volley, beautiful goal. Same season, Van Persie scored a winner at the Etihad in the final minutes, where he scored a free kick. Again, amazing. Trying to think what else. Of course, Champions League final, Ronaldo scoring that header, amazing. Speaking of Ronaldo, when he scored a headed goal against Spurs when we won 5-2 in the 2008-9 season, again, amazing. It was just amazing because like we were 2-0 down, we had to win that game. We somehow came back. He scores this diving header, takes his shirt off. The crowd, absolute limbs. That was great. Yeah, I could go on. If you give me a play, I can think of one and be like, yeah, I remember that goal, this goal. Yeah, there's loads, but those ones definitely stand out for me.
yeah. Like I said, there's a whole catalogue of Man United goals. I'm sure one just isn't enough, is it?
No,
What is your favourite non-club goal? So basically, favourite goal that wasn't scored by United.
I think it'd have to be Messi's against Real Madrid in the Clasico Champions League semi-final first leg, where he started from the halfway line and he just went through that entire
Is
Madrid
that the one when
team.
Busquets just like kind of just stopped it for him, and then he's like, "Here, you take over."
Yeah, that man Busquets, who we might get onto later, but yeah, Busquets, he obviously had the best assist of all time in my opinion because he literally just dropped the ball there. Messi just did what he did, scored that goal. What else was an unbelievable? Call me crazy, but even like a goal that Bale scored against Barcelona in the Clásico, where he got kicked off the pitch and had to run all the way round.
Oh yeah. He kind of he flipping like ran around the dugout,
Yeah,
back on the
that
pitch.
was an unbelievable goal. What else? There was a couple from the World Cup 2014 when James he scored a unbelievable volley against I think it was Uruguay where he chested it and it was a beautiful goal. And then someone like Pape Cisse when he scored that amazing goal at the Stamford Bridge where the ball came outside of his boot. He was literally on the left channel and he somehow hit the outside of the boot and it somehow went over check. Unbelievable goal, 2011-12 season. Unbelievable goal from Pape Cisse. Also on Van Persie, when he was at Arsenal, he scored this unbelievable volley when he was playing against Charlton. It was a great worked goal from Arsenal because they were passing it beautifully. And then it was on the right, I think it might have been Abue. He put the ball into the box and Van Persie was coming on the edge of the box and he volleyed it. And I don't even know how he hit the ball, but that went in. Amazing goal. Obviously, you can talk about Rooney's one that he scored against Newcastle as well when he was first coming through Man United. Again, amazing goal. There's too many, Kaiser. You're spoiling everyone. You're spoiling me. I'm just thinking of players, and I'm just like, oh, God, I remember that goal. I remember that goal. There's too many. There's way too many.
Well, what about this next question? What's your favourite club assist? You kind of touched on this, so I feel like you might mention this one. But what's your favourite,
Ooh,
club assist for United? So obviously
United.
the pass before the goal.
Yeah, so like Rooney's, I think was amazing, just because the vision to find that pass, and then obviously for Van Persie then volley it was amazing because Rooney vision was insane, and the fact that he somehow pinpointed it perfectly onto Van Persie's foot to then bury it was just insane. Like, get him on Call of Duty or something, because that man's a sniper. I mean, the fact that he got the ball there was insane. It was no scope, quick scope, whatever scope you can think of. He got it on that foot, and what a goal that was. But what an assist. What a player Wayne Rooney was. Unbelievable.
I think he did that.
Actually, I thought someone else. Literally, sorry. Check out Paul Scholes' assist when John O'Shea scored the 4th goal against Arsenal in the 4-2 game at Highbury in the 2004-05 season. Basically, Gabriel Heinze was on the left flank running down the wing. He's cut the ball back in, and Scholes, outside the boot first time, he slid the ball in, somehow beat the offside trap. John O'Shea's there, and he's lobbed Lehmann. Unbelievable assist. One of the best assists I've ever seen. First time, beautiful.
I remember that game. That was one of those classic kind of United Arsenal kind of battles. It's probably one of the last ones, to be honest, because you don't really get that kind of like spice or feistiness anymore now. It's all a bit kind of like nice and polite, isn't it? So,
True, it's true.
But yeah, I don't remember the assist too much, but I do remember the goal. Just John O'Shea just kind of dinked it over the goalie.
Check the pass out. The pass was unbelievable.
Yeah, I've never been to Highbury, but I know it's kind of, they say it's quite compact, and if they used to say like that feels like the fans were like really close to you on the pitch. But yeah, those kind of Premier League era, when you watch like the Premier League years and all that stuff, yeah, it just kind of brings it all back.
I know, it's great memories. I mean, most of the time I'd end up watching, like, especially Saturdays, Match of the Day, or before Match of the Day, the highlights used to be on ITV for one season when Beautiful Day.
Oh, the Premiership.
Yeah,
I think it's called the Premiership.
Beautiful Day U2 was played before the show started. And
Dishy Des Lionel.
Yeah, yeah. That's who I remembered a lot. And John Motson, obviously, when he was up BBC. But yeah, Highbury was just, those games they're just legendary, aren't they? Kind of wish sometimes those years came back. Not because Man United were good or anything, but they were just great eras. Even the players back then, some of them were just amazing.
What's your favourite, and similar question really, but what's your favourite non-club assist? So obviously an assist you've seen, but obviously just not from United.
Oh, that is
that
tough.
You can think of.
I'm trying to think of one. It's tough. I mean, I can think of any. I mean, I could go for the obvious: Busquets, Messi. There's one that I do remember seeing when. Who was it? I'm trying to think.
Mesut Ozil's a good shout as well with some of the stuff he used to do.
Yeah, Ozil's a shout. I'm just trying to think. There was one player where I've just seen. He was absolutely outrageous. He somehow, I think it might have been Quaresma. It was outside the boot.
Oh, Ricky Q.
It was a Trivela. He crossed it, and I'm like, how has he managed to get that much bend on the ball that the player? I don't know who it was. I think he might have been at Porto Inter. He headed the ball in, and I was just like, how's he managed to bend the ball past everyone to get that? Like, there was no way that ball should have been there. And he somehow got it in, and I was just like, you just got to stand up and clap your hands there, because unbelievable.
Yeah, it sounds like something Ricky Q would do. He was, like you said, the Trivea. That, effortless. The way he used to just kick the ball, pass, assist, whatever. It just, phenomenal player. I think he's still playing, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know where he's at, but he had a lot of skill.
Yeah,
he had an insane amount of skill. Like, I remember when he came through, Portugal had him as like the next star ahead of Ronaldo. Like, Quaresma was the big deal, but we all know how that kind of turned out. But I'm just trying to think of other kind of assists I can think of. I think there's one I remember where it was Neymar, and he was on the flank, and I think he did a Rabona, and the ball fell to Suarez, and he just tapped it in. But the Rabona, like, to even pull that off in a game is ballsy. But the fact that he did it like that and got the assist, amazing.
What's your favourite squad number, and why?
Oof. I think it's number 10. The only reason it is number 10 is because not only are there many players in the past that have worn number 10 and they just have too much sauce, But I like the idea of number 10 in football. I like the whole attacking midfielder. That's kind of the position I would play if I was playing football. The problem is that number 10 is kind of dying out in the game. But some of the players that wore number 10, even in the previous eras, like obviously we can talk about Rooney. Obviously he started at 8, but then he had number 10. Van Nistelrooy had number 10. Dennis Bergkamp, unbelievable player, number 10. Messi, Maradona. To go through the list, there's too many players who wore 10 and were just unbelievable. So yeah, number 10 for me.
Yeah, William Gallas wore number 10 as well when he was at Arsenal. I remember that.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah, it was so weird. Like a centre back wearing number
Yeah.
10 made absolutely no sense. But the crazy thing is, that season they nearly won the league. Arsenal.
I can't remember. I just remember. I think he was at Chelsea and they swapped. I think it was him and Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole. Yeah, yeah. So the 07-08 season, Gallas had number 10, and they were doing very well that season, Arsenal. And that was a season when Eduardo broke his leg at St Andrews, Birmingham City, and then after then the season kind of derailed, and Gallas won number 10 that season, and he was good up until then, and then Arsenal capitulated, and then we all know what happened after that.
What's your favourite football boot? Whether you've worn it or just like the look of it.
Oh, there's a couple. I'm gonna have to give you three. So
Yeah,
I've
sure.
got one of the.
It's your show.
I've got the CTR 360s. They're black, white, and red. Oh god, they were unbelievable trainers. They're about 10 years old, and I've kept them in good condition. I'm never going to sell those. They're unbelievable boots. Love those boots. What else? Predators. Oh god, players growing up,
Iconic.
wearing them. Dan, Beckham, Gerrard, all those kind of players. Love those boots. And then the third ones, I'd probably go for. I don't know if they were T90s or were they Mercurial Vapors, but they were the boots that Henri and R9 would wear. They were just Nikes, and they're just
Mercurial
You
Vapors.
just look at them. Yeah, oh god, amazing boots. You just look at them and you're just like, oh god, I just want to wear them. I just want to be like these guys. So those three especially, unbelievable boots. Unbelievable boots.
Yeah, the Vapors. I used to wear those as well. So yeah, it's definitely Henri and R9. Because R9 had his own one. He had like a silver one, I remember, and it was with a bit of blue, and he had his own R9 logo on the tongue. Yeah, and they're really light as well. Like if you like I did, if you play on the wing, they're like the top perfect boot for you because they're just so light.
God, they just looked amazing as well. And I mean, put it this way: whenever I got pairs of boots, obviously as a kid, they're all Astros. I'd wear them all the time as well. I'd go to sleep with them as well, to be honest with you. So. Yeah, no, they were good boots, great times as well.
What's your favourite goal celebration?
Ooh, that's tough. That's very, very tough. I mean, I could go for the classic Alan Shearer hand up kind of thing, but
so boring. But yeah,
I know. Yeah, no, I think
that's the joke about it,
probably,
though. It's, yeah,
yeah, it's the ironic joke. It's like you, unbelievable bagsman, but that was his celebration. Like it made absolutely no sense.
I remember one time he kind of not like Usain Bolt, but he did this kind of like that once. And
Yeah,
then
it was weird. I mean, that was actually funny because I thought you were going for like that, and that was like Torres did that when he was at Liverpool, El Nino.
Yeah, he used to do that as well. But yeah, I
Yeah.
remember he did. Yeah, I could have sworn it was Shearer. But yeah, what other celebrations?
Actually, I've seen one. This is an absolute red herring, but it was Michael Chopra, and I think he was at
Chops.
Cardiff then, and he scored a goal, and he took his boot off, and he dropped his boot because he was trying to say the boot was too hot, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
I really liked that celebration. I was just like, it's almost like, yeah, it's like you're dropping the mic almost, and you're just saying, like, I'm just too good, kind of thing, too hot. I thought that was a really good celebration because I hadn't seen anything up to that point. I mean, I've seen obviously your classic Roger Miller dance in the corner. Love that. I really like Shabalala's celebration when he scored that goal for South Africa against Mexico, first game of the 2010 World Cup, where he scored that unbelievable goal, and it was the whole.
Oh yeah, they all started dancing there in the corner.
I
yeah,
love that celebration. Oh god, that was a great celebration, to be honest. And then I think you got to put Ronaldo's up there because everybody does it. It's one of the most famous celebrations ever now because it's not even just footballers or football fans that do it. You got NBA players, NFL players, everyone's doing it now.
I think a guy on the darts did it a couple of months ago.
There you go.
I think he got what is it, 180 or something, and then
180,
he just did a little.
Oh, I do remember seeing that actually. I think it might have been at the World Darts Championship. I think you're right. Yeah.
Do you currently or have you played for a team? And if so, what kind of like level or standard? You don't need to give the name away, but
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Do you currently play football?
Yeah, so I play like I guess you can call it five-a-side, like what's it, Power League if you want to call it that, with people from work, and sometimes I might get called up to play with my mates that I went to from school. I don't really play Sunday League anymore. I mean, I did play when I was a kid for a bit, and then I guess I can't. I say I grew up, but other priorities came in line and I just stopped playing. But yeah,
Life.
no, I think, yeah, life. I'm acting like I've got a mortgage and I've got kids, but yeah, I grew up and I guess other stuff just happened. I guess FIFA was a big thing as well back then, pro clubs and all the team as well, going out and having a good time as well. But yeah, I think I play more like Astro five-side stuff now just because of the times.
What's your where do you play? What position?
I play anywhere. I'm like James Milner because I can play at top if you want me to play up top. I'll play in the middle if you want me to play in the middle. I can play at the back. Like I can play anywhere because I'm not trying to blow smoke at my ass, but I'm all right anywhere basically. You can stick me anywhere and I'll do a job. I'm also two-footed as well, so
Oh, nice.
I'm quite versatile in that. I mean, that was more out of luck because I broke my ankle about 6 years ago, my right ankle, and as a result, I was really scared to play with it. So I got quite good with my left foot as a result. And now it's like, if anything, I like playing on the left more than I play on the right. But yeah, put me anywhere, I'll do a job for you. I'm like a Swiss Army knife.
What's your favorite stadium that you've been to, or favorite few stadiums? Because you obviously
Ooh.
you're well travelled with your sessions. So yeah, what football stadium, by the way? Yeah, what's your favorite football
Ooh, that's
stadium?
that's a good one. I think it's an old stadium, but I'm gonna have to say the San Siro. I went to the Milan derby 2 years ago, February 2020. It was just before COVID. Actually, it's
Oh,
one of the
nice.
last games I went to. Yeah, before COVID, and Milan won. Inter Milan won 4-2. Unbelievable game. AC went two up, and then Inter came back with 4 goals. Unbelievable stadium. I mean, the memories I have from that stadium growing up were just amazing. Champions League, that was what it was all about. Going there, the stadium was humongous, and then going through the concourses, like the circular stands or whatever, not the stands, but the entrance, that's synonymous with the San Siro, and amazing. I only grew up with the San Siro. It is very, very old. The seats are basically glued onto the concrete, so they're not like proper seats that you might get in English stadiums, for example. Um, but
Is it
yeah,
like cushions or
unbelievable
something?
stadium.
Glued cushions?
They're like glued plastic seats, so there's not
Oh,
technically
there's no back
seats.
to it, so it's just like
Basically, yeah. And I mean, what's mad is everyone stands up in the stands, even though they're really high up as well, and it's crazy because normally in England you stand up, you get told off by the steward, for example. So yeah, San Siro. I mean, I implore anyone if you're watching this, make sure you see the San Siro before they demolish it because it's one of those historic grounds that you just have to see before they get rid of it.
are they set like a deadline when they're gonna
I think they're looking
demolish
at
it?
2024 or 2025. It's around the time where they were thinking of having the Winter Olympics in Milan. So I think they're thinking of getting rid of it because the problem is in Italy, unless it's a big game, especially the San Siro, this attendances aren't that high. So it's just, I mean, what's the point? One, and then two, the stadium's really old and needs renovations. You might as well just knock it down and build a new one, is what they're thinking, is which makes sense. Make it modern, which is something that Man United need to do. But the point is, that's what they're thinking of doing. So I mean, definitely, if you can get there, go there. I've also been to the Bernabeu as well. Amazing stadium. Again, theatre. Great memories growing up. Watching teams play at that stadium as well. Amazing stadium. But when I went, they were doing quite a lot of renovations because again, it was just before COVID. I went to the Classico March 2020, and yeah, great stadium. And yeah, I guess it's going to be even better once they've done the renovations as well.
I just want to run through. So obviously you are a Man United fan. Obviously, as we record this, the season has just finished. So I just want to run through the players, the current roster that they have, and if you just a couple of words or a word just to summarise each player. So it's going in position order from goalkeepers through to strikers. So goalkeepers: David De Gea,
Saved us this season.
Lee Grant,
Irrelevant. Bless him. Bless him. Bless him. But yeah,
Tom Heaton,
again, not sure.
Dean Henderson,
Needs to go.
I do find it weird how they've got four goalkeeper like Lee Grant. He's been there a while from what I know of. But anyway,
Yeah.
defenders now. So these are just in number order. Victor Lindelof,
Needs to learn how to head a ball.
Eric Bailly.
Needs to learn not to get injured.
I think there's a lot of learning in this team, but that needs to happen. Phil Jones,
Servant of the club, but it's time to go, in the words of Claude Caligari.
rest in peace. Harry Maguire, captain Harry Maguire.
Captain Harry Maguire. Love the captain, got to support him. But what have you done this season?
Is he captain or craptin, in your opinion?
I feel bad for him. He gets a lot of stick. I don't know
Because it is
happened to him.
topical and relate. I don't want obviously turn us to like Man United central, but just obviously because you see in the media and everything. Just your opinion. Like, do you think he should be captain next season, or because when you look at the team, there's not really anyone other than probably Ronaldo, maybe De Gea. Just looking at the list now, I can't really see any kind of captain material, in my opinion. But yeah, captain for you next season?
No, I wouldn't say so. Only because he's always in the limelight. It's always going to be a topic of discussion as well. Maguire being the captain. I'd rather not have him there in the firing line. I'd rather just let him, play his football. Because the thing is, a lot of fans just want him gone, and I'm just like, no, we've spent a lot of money on him. We have to give him a chance. Like, these things happen, and the thing is, if you play him as captain, everyone's always just going to talk about, oh, Maguire the captain. Whereas if you let him, play his football, let his football do the talking, and then you can go from there. So, I think let Maguire not be captain and play his football.
Yep, sensible, makes sense. Raphael Varane.
Again, jury's out on him because he hasn't really played enough football, and considering he was a Champions League winner coming into the club and a lot of the hype, I guess he has underwhelmed a little bit. But I'm willing to give him one more season.
So is Varane on fraud watch potentially?
Potentially. I mean, he obviously won a lot of Champions Leagues, and he should have that leadership there and the experience. But again, he hasn't really played a lot of games as well, and he has been a little bit injury prone. So again, we have to give him one more season, I think.
Diego Dallo.
I think we need to sell him. I think everyone likes him because he's got a cross on him, but I just think he's such a liability defensively that every time an attacking winger goes for him, I'm just like, oh God, I'm really worried. I'm really, really worried. So I like him going forward, but I think going, defensively, he's not good enough, and I would sell him personally.
Luke Shaw.
Shawberto Carlos scored a goal in the Euros final, and God knows what's happened to him then. I mean, he started all right for a couple of games of the season, but again, needs to get that Michael Jordan mentality back that he had last season and just become that winner again, because he's definitely a good footballer.
Alex Telles or Telles.
Telles, again, good looks like a model almost sometimes, but don't think he's right for Manchester United. Again, I think he's a liability defensively. I'd rather just stick with Shaw, to be honest.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Oh God, this is a tough one. I actually like Aaron. He's a very, very good defender. And I remember a couple of seasons ago, everyone was raving about him, about how he could be the best thing, right back in England. I personally think we should keep him. I think we should give him one more season and go from there.
These are reserve players. I'll say them anyway because obviously they're on the roster. Bjorn Hardley, he's from the Netherlands.
Again, haven't really seen too much of him.
Yep.
Yeah, haven't seen too much of him.
Alvaro Fernandez from Spain, defender.
Again, not sure. I think he might have played a few under-21 games, looked all right, but I don't think he's ready for the first team.
He's a prospect, isn't he? I think if it's that player, I think.
Yeah, no, he is a prospect.
I've seen
got
other
potential,
yeah.
But I think it's a bit too early for him to join the first team just now.
Paul Pogba, midfielders.
Thanks for the memories, but it's time to go. I mean, I say memories, but hardly been that many memories, to be honest. He's the most frustrating player I've ever probably seen for Manchester United. All the talent in the world, just doesn't. I've not seen it enough, unfortunately.
Juan Mata.
A great servant of the club, but I think he's more of a mascot now, to be honest. More of a cheerleader.
Jesse Lingard.
Jesse Lingard. I think he's too concerned with memes, and I think in order for his career, I think he needs to move to another club because he's still got potential to be a good player. I say potential like he's still 19, but I mean he's nearly 28, 29. But again, I think he needs to leave to fulfill his career.
Fred?
God, Fredinho. You think it was Ronaldinho sometimes playing for Manchester United the way he's been playing. He has definitely exceeded expectations for sure. He's had quite a good season, to be honest.
Bruno Fernandes or
Oh,
Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes. Oh, that is a very, very tough one. Very polarizing figure. Sometimes I watch and I'm like, God, there is a player there. And then other games I watch and I'm just like, God, if you didn't get that penalty or assist, you would have been deemed to have an absolute average or below average game. So for me, polarizing.
Facundo Palestri, isn't he on loan?
He's on loan, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nemanja Matic.
Oh, I love this guy. You know, came from Serbia. He'll effing murder you, as the song goes. But absolute beast. Whenever I've seen him play this season, I think he's been great. Just composed, always breaking up play, starting off play. It's a shame he hasn't won that many trophies at Man United. Because remember when he came from Chelsea, that was the big thing. Like, oh God, this how Chelsea let him go, kind of thing. And yeah, he played well, but I don't think he ever achieved as much as he hoped he had for Manchester United. But a great servant for the club.
Scott McTominay.
Ooh, the next Darren Fletcher. I actually like Scott McTominay. He's got a lot of passion. I think you need squad players like that as well that come off the bench. So, yeah, passionate is what I'd say.
Hannibal Mabry.
Mabry. I've not seen too much of him, being honest with you, but again, prospect.
Charlie Savage.
God, Robbie Savage's son. Well, I mean, fair play. I mean, his dad obviously used to play against Ronaldo. Now he's playing against him. Again, prospect. Again, prospect. But the thing with prospects, you're just never sure until you see them in, a proper game, for example. Unless, they're like an Mbappe or Haaland who were literally amazing from the outset. So again, prospect.
Zidane Iqbal.
Zidane Iqbal. Representation is what I'm going to say. The first Asian player to play for Manchester United, and in the Premier League, I think, for Manchester United. So amazing. Again, he's got a lot of talent. I've seen a few clips of him. Seems like he's got talent. If he's lives up to his namesake, in the words of Zidane, then we've got a player on our hands for sure.
Alejandro Garnacho.
Okay, major potential here.
I got him muddled up with the other one. Yeah, that's the one I heard of. Yeah.
Yeah, major potential with him. I mean, he's already come out and said that he likes Ronaldo over Messi, which is crazy because Garnacho is Argentinian. But this guy's got potential, and I think under Ten Hag, he could be one to watch.
Forwards now, Cristiano Ronaldo.
One of the greatest players of all time, one of the greatest players you'll ever see, one of the greatest athletes you'll ever see, one of the greatest people you'll ever see.
Marcus Rashford.
Ooh.
Just a few words or summary, yeah.
I think he's a legend for a lot of people in terms of what he's done from a social justice perspective. I just hope that he can bring back the form of previous seasons because I think he could be a very, very good player for us. He just hasn't had a good season this year. Very, very poor.
The next player I'm not going to mention for legal reasons, but he wears the number 11 shirt. We all know who that is. Next one, Edison Cavani.
I wish he came to Manchester United earlier. I wish he did. He could have been amazing for us. The work rate, even the goals, the assists, everything. I just love him as a player. I love the passion as well. Just wish he came earlier for Manchester United. I wish.
Jadon Sancho.
Again, a lot of potential there. Still young. Took time to acclimatise to the Premier League at the start. Had a good back end of the season. And I think next season he will be firing.
Anthony Elanga.
Amazing chant. But I'm not sure if he will be as good as people think under ETH. Only because I think ETH is going to go with Rashford and Sancho on the wings. And Elanga's going to have to be a super sub and make an impact from the bench. And he had pretty good, games under Ollie especially, and then he had a few decent games under Ragnick. But I don't think Ten Hag is going to play him as much as people think, which is a shame. But yeah, but he's still a promising player for sure.
Final one, Shola Shoretire.
Again, prospect. I think we kind of need him given the fact that number 11 for Manchester United is going through what he's going through. So I think he will be potentially quite useful unless we sign someone else. Because Cavani's old, and obviously the space is up for grabs basically. So yeah.
Just gonna mix it up now. So just want to ask a few kind of wild card questions. So, what's your favorite movies? Just a few, if you can, or favorite movie of all time. What do you consider?
Oof, I'd probably have to say Shawshank Redemption. Saw that film when I was about 14 or 15. People are like, how did you understand that film? But unbelievable film. I've seen that so many times. Just the messages that they tell you in the story, the storyline, the plot, the acting, the soundtrack, everything about it. Amazing. I love that film. It's a shame that when that film came out, it was panned by critics and it didn't really do that well at the box office because, my God, if I was alive in the 90s or whatever, I'd be paying my whole wage watching that film and just, boosting those numbers because that film was amazing. So that's definitely one. This is a bit of a red herring, but I actually liked La La Land, which is weird because I never thought I'd be a fan for musicals, but I really liked that film and it was quite poetic because it.
I haven't seen La La Land, but cheers for the spoilers, by the way. I'm only joking. I'm not. I have no plans to watch it.
And then from a sporting angle, I think you can go for the classic Rocky series. I mean, those films, they taught me life lessons, man. Like, they made me grow up as a kid. Like, just watching those films, absolute insane series. I will always defend those series because it was just, yeah, amazing. I mean, honestly, Kaiser, we could talk all evening if we want to about films. I love films. All kind of films I love. I mean, Seven, Godfather trilogy, The Dark Knight, Inception, Interstellar, amazing. You name it, I've watched it.
Favorite TV shows?
Oh, that's tough.
Or what would you consider? Yeah, your kind of all-time kind of favorite TV shows.
Okay, all-time. Okay, I'll give you 5 then. The Wire, which is on HBO, amazing series.
Definitely, I've seen that, so no spoilers there.
Yeah, yeah, great series.
I've seen it. I think I've gone through it about 3 times. It's just one of those shows you can keep watching.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good if you watched it 3 times over. So yeah, definitely The Wire, amazing HBO series, great era as well. I mean, obviously I wasn't like, I was alive then, but I wasn't really like an adult. I was still a kid. So yeah, The Sopranos, again, unbelievable series. Love that series. Game of Thrones, unbelievable series. What can I say? Ending was crap, but it is what it is. Line of Duty is more of a recent one. I watched that a couple of years ago. They actually filmed the first series in Birmingham, which is not far from where I live. So yeah, that was insane. Really liked that series. The last season, the ending was a bit underwhelming, but yeah. And then the 5th one, I'm probably going to go with Breaking Bad. I thought that was an insane series, and it's a shame that it finished so early because I think that was, for me, the ending was great. The series was great. Obviously, we talked about ETH being E.T. Heisenberg, and yeah, Heisenberg was in that series as well.
Eric Ten Heisenberg. Who are your favourite actors, actresses, however you want to say it, of all time?
Well, I could have said Will Smith, but if I say that, he might want me to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. So yeah, let's stray away from Will Smith. I think someone like Denzel Washington, amazing actor. Not only is he an amazing actor, but I think he's an amazing person as well in terms of what he believes in and how he kind of lives his life. Liam Neeson, again, great actor. Love him. Who else? It's tough because there's Leonardo DiCaprio, again, great actor. I do like Tom Hanks, but there's something weird. Tom Hanks' personality is just it's really off-putting, but I think he's a great actor. So you got to give him credit where he's due. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he's a really good actor, always in good films. Hugh Jackman, again, amazing actor, always in great films. Morgan Freeman, again, he's up there. And actresses, I mean, I can go for the classic, obviously, Jennifer Aniston. Not Jennifer Aniston, sorry, Angelina Jolie. God, Brad Pitt's the guy in the middle, and I'm just getting the 2 girls that he was with messed up.
The middleman.
Angelina, for obvious reasons, I think Angelina Jolie is absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah. Who else was a really good actress? I like Jessica Chastain. I think she's a really good actress. I like her. Emma Stone, again, great actress. Who else? Who else do I can think of off the top of my head that I watched recently? She's a really good actress. I think those three I think are really good actresses. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else really. The thing is, there's too many to choose from. That's the other problem as well. So yeah, I mean, you got obviously classic Julia Roberts, all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah.
Who's your favorite superhero? So you Marvel or DC?
God, I'm both, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like Marvel and I like DC.
So one from each.
One from each. Okay, so Marvel, Spider-Man. Just because the films growing up, amazing. Tobey Maguire films. That was my Spider-Man. So when I watch a recent Spider-Man, hope people have watched it before I spoil it. But obviously, when
I haven't seen it, so don't spoil it.
Yeah. I mean, because it was just like a trip down memory lane, to be honest with you. Great film. I've just thought of another actor. Willem Dafoe, great actor. Love him. But yeah, Spider-Man, Marvel, and the games on the PS2, great games as well, and the TV shows, amazing. And then DC, I probably will have to go Batman because again, the films are amazing.
It has
the
to
games
be
are
Batman.
amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think those two. Although in Marvel, I think Iron Man's a close second because Robert Downey Jr. smashed it as obviously Iron Man. Again, he's another on my list for great actors as well. Unbelievable actor.
What's your kind of favorite music genre, or kind of just a few bands that you kind of like listening to?
God,
I know
that's
there's
very
probably
low.
loads, but yeah, if you were to
Yeah.
like gun to your head, how? It's probably a difficult question to be
Yeah. Okay.
honest.
So
But
I think
or genres.
I think Col- oh, he's gonna. I think Col- I think Coldplay definitely is a band that if someone was like, "Oh, you're gonna die right now," listen to something because they've just got bangers after bangers and they're timeless. So that's one. The Beatles again, another great band. I'm gonna go for more a rap band. Well, I'll say band, but more like a crew. So the Wu-Tang Clan, amazing songs from the '90s.
There's a documentary on
Any other
Disney I want to
bands?
try and catch on that. It was done in 2019. It's yeah, we need to watch that, the Wu-Tang one.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I've seen it.
Have you seen it? Oh, is
Great.
it good?
Yeah,
Have to
it's really,
check it
really
out.
good, really insightful as well. But yeah, great band. I say band more like a crew. Then you've got more like modern ones, like you could say Kings of Leon. They're quite good to listen to. I'm not really behind the whole BTS kind of hype. I know a lot of girls like their K-pop bands, but not really for me.
Sounds like you're into like
And-
student-y kind of groups and stuff that you'd hear like on a
yeah,
student
no,
night out.
yeah, you can tell my age.
All the
Then, and then
bangers.
yes, and then it's weird to be fair because like I'll listen to like let's say like a rap song from like the '90s, like Biggie or like Tupac, and then the next song on my playlist will be like some classical composition from this Italian pianist called Ludovico Einaudi. So it's just like, yeah, I've got some weird taste in music. I have.
Um, FIFA or Pro Evo? Well, I would say Pro Evo, PES or eFootball, whatever it's called now.
Oh yeah, no, FIFA. I mean, I liked Pez growing up because of players like Adriano with that insane shot power that he had. But FIFA, I've had the most memories on. Be that Pro Clubs, Ultimate Team, Career Mode. Yeah, FIFA. Just God, the memories. Like the thing is, Pez was actually a good game, and for a long time the gameplay was better than FIFA, but FIFA was just something else. But it's weird because it's not going to be called FIFA anymore now, is it? So yeah,
What's it going to be called
shame.
again? Something
It's just going to be called EA Football. I
EA,
think, or
yeah,
EA.
that was it. EFC
Yeah,
or something, or
Yeah, something like that because I think FIFA obviously getting rid of their partnership, so it's gonna be a weird one.
what's your favourite holiday destination
Ooh, that I've been to or that I want to go to.
that you've been to?
Ooh, that's tough. I'll probably say Dubai. Yeah, Dubai. I mean, if people haven't gone to Dubai, make sure you get to Dubai. There's just so much stuff to do there. The
I think you need
vibes,
a lot of
the
cash going to
atmosphere.
Dubai from what I've seen. I've not been there, but it just seems like desert and then just like city with all the madness happening. From
Yeah,
what
no,
I've
that's
from,
literally it. I mean, there's not that much history, I would say, which is a bit of a shame because I do like going to cities and like, obviously exploring and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of just the lifestyle in Dubai, it's just like you feel like you're a king almost there, and it's almost like a massive get out. So yeah, Dubai is great, but I've always wanted to go to the States and do like a massive kind of like road trip and go through all the cities. So although I haven't been to the States, I think any city, well, a massive road trip in the States would be my ideal trip holiday destination.
So I just want to bring it back to the football now. Just a few more questions, and then we'll go on to your two legend sides. Who is your goat? Your goat, not anyone else's. Who is your greatest of all time?
I'd probably go Lionel Messi. It's tough because I was a Man United fan. Not many people would go for like Messi. They'd probably say Ronaldo, but I think Messi just, you know, as a player, both from a creative aspect in terms of assists and then a goal scorer in terms of goals, I don't think you'll ever see anyone like him ever again. And people can say, "Oh, the stats. Ronaldo's got pretty, decent assists and goals," and he has. I'm not saying he hasn't, but Messi is just like a full package. He'll do everything for you. He'll create from the halfway line, but he'll also be at the end of the pitch scoring goals. And obviously, it's very subjective because a lot of people think like Messi is more of a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing player than Ronaldo. And I mean, that's questionable because someone might like the ferociousness that Ronaldo brings, but I think for me personally, the panache that Messi brings and just the elegance that Messi has, for me, is unbelievable. And I don't think you'll ever see anything like that ever again. And then when you include the whole number of goals that he's got, the number of assists, the accolades individually, the team accolades, I think when it's all said and done, Messi is the greatest player of all time.
Which player do you dislike the most?
Ooh, ooh, that
AK,
is tough.
basically,
It's not
who's the
really a player.
biggest
Just
who's the biggest
maybe.
shithouse that you hate in football, in your opinion?
Oh God, I actually don't like Luis Suarez. I have a lot of respect for him. I have a lot of respect for him. Amazing player. But my God, did he piss me off when he used to play for against Manchester United. He was he just shithouse all the time. Some of the obviously the things that he did, with the whole Everett incident as well, the diving. Oh God, he was so annoying. But my God, the thing is he was such a good player. That's what also didn't help is the fact that he did all those stuff, and then on top he was a very good player. So it's like I don't like you anyway because you play for a rival club. You are the way you are. So that's another reason why I don't like you. And you're very good. So yeah, when you have those three ingredients mixed in, it's a very very potent potion. And when that potion is there, you're not gonna like it.
Final question before we move over. What would you add or remove from the game currently in terms of like rules or stipulations? So like things like an orange card or a sin bin or anything like that that you can think of.
Yeah, I think I would probably get rid of the concept of you call me crazy. I actually would get rid of VAR only because the problem with VAR right now is a lot of the referees. This is in the Premier League, that is. Globally, it's all right, but in the Premier League, the referees just don't use it properly, and the people who operate VAR, they don't use it properly either. Like I remember this season, there was a handball from Rodri in City's box. I think it was against Everton. It was the most or it might have been Spurs. I can't remember. It was the most blatant handball ever, but it wasn't given. Like what's going on there? Like if you've got the opportunity to check, say if the referee hasn't seen it, I understand. But if VAR's checked it and they don't think it's a penalty, even though it's a blatant penalty, and they've apologised afterwards, then something's clearly wrong there, and it just creates more controversy. So I think VAR in the Premier League overall. I know obviously Wenger's come out with some weird stuff like they should get rid of offside rule and the game should be like 30 minutes
Has
and
he?
all this. But yeah, he's come out with some very very weird stuff. But I think one thing from the game that I'd probably look at introducing maybe is I think Simbin's a shout to be fair, um, because no, actually no, I'm going to switch it. I think with VAR, what they can use globally, which I'd like to see, is like challenges almost like they have in tennis,
Oh yeah.
where you have let's say two challenges per half maybe, where you can use VAR to then check a decision or something. Because if the referees or the people using VAR don't know how to use it properly, then at least you have the opportunity to check something, have a bit more time out to definitely check something, and then make a decision. Because at the end of the day, sometimes not having VAR also adds to the game as well. Where like whatever the referee makes the decision stands, and if he doesn't make a decision, then it doesn't stand. Like that also was something that was beautiful about football. I think obviously tech does help, but again, if it's not being used properly, what's the point?
Definitely, that's a good shout actually. About the challenges thing. Yeah, I could see that maybe in the future. We'll see. Brilliant. Right. So we're gonna just move over now to the next screen. Um, there we go. So we're a bit smaller now. We're both in the corners. You've obviously sent me your club all time. Your club all time. In your opinion. Um, 11 kind of legends, and then you've also done like a non-club 11 here with the legends. So some big names in on these two squads. So yeah, talk me through it. So we'll start with the from left to right, the United side. So you've put Van der Sar in goal.
Yeah, God, record speaks for itself. I think there was one season, I think it was 0809, where he didn't concede for like 1,300 minutes or something stupid like that. Also, how they had great centre mids or centre backs basically in front of him, but amazing keeper. My only issue with Van der Sar is I wish he moved to Man United earlier. We got him quite late because he was at Fulham for quite a fair bit. And then we got him, and then obviously it was key because we had keepers such as Tim Howard and Roy Carroll. No disrespect to those two keepers, but they weren't as good as Van der Sar. But what a legend! And who can forget his iconic celebration when he saved that penalty against Anelka in the 2008 Champions League final when he's got his hands and he's like cracking his neck like that. So yeah, Van der Sar, absolute legend.
Left back, you've got Patrice Evra.
I love this game. What more else could be said about Patrice Evra? I mean, he's had some very questionable incidents since retiring. I mean, I remember you seeing that video where he was,
He's like spanking a chicken or something.
Yeah, he was making out with a chicken. I was just like, if you want to make out with chicken, just go to Nando's and just buy some actual chicken instead of raw chicken. But yeah, great left back, and we needed someone like him as well after Heinze departed to Real Madrid. Love his energy, love his passion. Yeah, obviously he just had a great career as well. Went to Juve, did well there, but absolute legend.
And centre half, we've got Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic.
Yeah, absolute solid centre-back partnership. I mean, it's funny, since those two left, we haven't actually had any solid centre-backs, or haven't really had a solid partnership like that. And it's funny because what did they always say, like, never take things for granted? And yeah, I kind of did, because absolute legends. I mean, there was the odd game where they would get torn apart. Like, I remember with Torres, he did give Vidic a lot of bad, problems. But yeah, solid partnership. Who was better? Debatable. I think Ferdinand, just because he was a bit more of a ball player. But obviously, we all know what's happened with Ferdinand today with the issues he had with JT on social media today. So yeah, but yeah, both legends.
And right back, Gary and Neville as opposed to Phil.
So funny. It's like that weird interview that Gary and Phil had on Monday Night Football when Gary first started. It was like, "All right, Phil," and then Phil was like, "All right, Gary," kind of thing. But yeah, it's weird. With Man United, we haven't really had any like outstanding right backs going forward. But Gary Neville was very dependable. Going forwards and backwards, and yeah, I know like people give him a lot of stick, and James Carragher was always like, nobody grew up wanting to be a Gary Neville, but when you're a dependable player like Gary Neville, you can't go wrong in terms of an XI.
We've got a midfield of Roy Keane. We'll go with Roy Keane first, actually. Yeah, Sani, all you, mate.
Absolute legend. He's my captain for this team as well. He was the leader. They need to make more players like Roy Keane in the football game. Just hard as nails, no nonsense given. He will fight every inch. I wish we had players like him at Manchester United. It was a shame how he left Man United, because obviously he came out on MUTV and said what he said. It was a little bit bad because he's obviously shitting on a few of our players, but he didn't really say it in any spiteful way. But yeah, it was a legend. It's a shame that I never got to see more of Keane. I did see him for like 2 seasons, but I wish I got to see more of him. Absolute legend, though.
And then alongside him, you've got Paul Scholes.
What a player. I mean, I don't even have to say too much about him. I mean, just hear what players like Xavi, Zidane, Pirlo, all these great players say about Paul Scholes. Even Henry. Henry was one of our biggest rivals at that time as well. They always talk so highly about Paul Scholes, and for me, he'd set the tempo in this team. He'd be, that person to get the tempo going, quicken it up, slow it down, vision, all of that. Amazing player.
Yeah, he had it all, didn't he? Short range, long range passing, finishing. The only thing he couldn't do was tackle, wasn't it? But yeah, Paul Scholes, I mean, what a player he was, and for England as well, highly underused for England. Yeah, what a player. On the left, you've got Ryan Giggs. Now, this is Ryan Giggs on the pitch as opposed to off the pitch, right?
Oh, God, yeah, of course. I mean, off the pitch, we all know where you'd find him. But yeah, on the pitch, amazing footballer.
Yeah, check your
it's
bedrooms.
Funny because, like, God, I think the funny thing is I am in my bedroom, so yeah, I might have locked my door. But the point is, he was great. He was great, Ryan Giggs. Longevity, amazing. I think people forget what he achieved earlier in his career as well. Like, they always see him at the latter end of his career. They don't realise what he actually did achieve. So, absolute legend. It's weird. Like, I was thinking of putting him on the right, but then I was like, I never really saw Giggs on the right. so I put him on the left instead, and he was always dependable.
On the right, nice segue there. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo. I know we've already
Yeah,
spoken
people might
about him
think
a
I'm
lot.
putting him on the right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, God, you think he is my go instead of Messi because I've spoken about him so much, but yeah, Ronaldo, legend. People might be thinking, why have you put him on the right instead of the left? But when he first came out of Man United, he was on the right. He played on the right as opposed to the left. And also, because of what I said earlier about how Giggs, I didn't really see him on the right as much. Ronaldo can play on the right, but again, you can always have interchanging wingers when like Giggs would switch to the right, and then Ronaldo would go on the left or whatever, and then you're going to go into the player next, but that player that you're going to mention next could also play on the right and interchange as well. So yeah, great player. Nothing else needs to say about Ronaldo. Absolute legend.
And that player is Wayne Rooney.
This player, he's just a legend, isn't he? He scored the most goals for Manchester United. Obviously, beat Bobby Charlton's record. Amazing servant at the club. He did a lot for us. Like he always would sacrifice himself, over the team. Always didn't, he'd always look at the team over the player. Like sometimes his stats in individual seasons weren't amazing, but all I've got to say is if you look at the seasons where he was the main striker for us, he was averaging 30 plus goals a season. So if you look at the 2009, 2010 season, and also the 2011, 2012 season, he was the main guy. He was our main striker, and he scored goals, and he was just a legend. I hope he does well at Derby. I think he's done a very good job at Derby. It's a shame they had the points deduction, but they'll be back in the Championship. He's a great manager, and he's someone that I'd love to play for as well, for sure. And of course, he had that amazing show, the Wayne Rooney Street Striker, as well, which was amazing growing up. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And your striker, one up top. Again, you've eulogised about this guy, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Oh, what a player. The Dutch machine. Absolute bagsman. It's funny because people might think, where's the balance? There is balance in this team, but the only issue with the team is there might not be that much tracking back from the likes of Ronaldo and Ruud. But I think if you look at the other players, I'd definitely make them track back. But Ruud van Nistelrooy, unbelievable player. It's always funny because like growing up, it's either him or Henry for a lot of people. And I know, don't get me wrong, I love Ruud van Nistelrooy, but the guy was a bagsman, and that's what he was all about. Henry's a little bit different, but my God, Ruud van Nistelrooy, what a player. What a guy. What a team as well, Kai.
What a team. And who would be your manager?
You know what? Let's change it up. He said, obviously, we spoke about Ferguson and we spoke about Sir Matt Busby. Let's go with Jose Mourinho. Let's play Mourinho because we want a shithouse manager that is going to go up against the side that I've put out on the other half of the pitch. So let's go with Jose.
To quote expressions, trophy Mourinho, as he used to call him when he was their manager. So your non-club Legends 11. Some absolute gladiators in this team here. Again, starting from goalkeeper Gigi Buffon.
Oh, what a legend this guy was. I watched more of his games for Italy when he was the keeper for them in the 2006 World Cup. That's when I first saw Buffon, I remember. And I was like, this guy is just a beast. Like, he just keeps out everything. Longevity was insane as well. It's a shame he never won the Champions League. He's one player I wish did win it because he definitely deserved it. He's been in so many finals, was always the bridesmaid, never the bride, but absolute legend. I was really torn though. I was either going to pick him or Neuer. Neuer again was a legend, but I just went with Buffon just because for a team like this, I had to pick Buffon.
Left back Roberto Carlos.
We mentioned Roberto Carlos earlier, but the original Roberto Carlos, the original, had quads the size of tree trunks.
Quadzilla.
Free kicks that were, Quadzilla. Free kicks that were like bullets. Amazing going forward. Defensively was pretty sound as well. Just legend, Jogo Benito, as they kept saying in Brazil. And amazing left back. It was either going to be him, Marcelo, or Ashley Cole, but I went with Roberto Carlos.
And next to him, you've got the duo Maldini and Nesta.
Oh, what a centre-back pairing. I love Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ronaldo, Rooney and Giggs, but good luck getting past these two because they were just, like you said, gladiators, colossals. They are two Atlas stones. No one's getting past them. Unbelievable centre-back partnership. Did so well for Italy, did so well for AC Milan as well. Like growing up, those two at AC, God, whenever Man United used to play them, it was trouble. And amazing centre-backs, amazing legends.
And right back, you've got Philipp Lahm.
Yeah, it was weird. I was torn as well. I was thinking either him, Cafu, or Dani Alves. Because this XI that I've obviously done as well is based on players that I've seen, be that in highlights growing up, or seen in the flesh, or just seen on TV live. And I think Lahm just gave me a bit more balance in this team because he was great going forward, great going back. Also could play in the midfield and give an extra option in the midfield as well. I think with Dani Alves, he was a little bit shaky defensively. Obviously, amazing going forward, but I do like that balance in this side, and that's why I went with Philipp Lahm. And he was a great captain as well for Bayern and Germany.
And just sitting in front of them, you got Sergio Busquets.
Oh, yeah, people might be thinking, why is he gone Busquets holding? But I think he's revolutionised the whole concept of the holding midfielder position. I know before it was about Makaleli and that kind of, profile of player, but Busquets, not only can he sit and hold, but he can also start the attacks for a lot of the players. So sorry, a lot of the times the team is going forward. And we also remember that assist that he had for Messi, and I'm not saying he's an assist god, but he can create the odd assist here and there. But yeah, legend and great longevity as well, and masterstroke from Guardiola putting him into the Barcelona side for sure.
When I think of Busquets, I think of that time where he was feigning the foul, and then they caught him on camera doing that to check if the person, if the ref could give him.
That was against Inter Milan. He got fouled. He actually got that player sent off, which is ridiculous because it was not a red card, but yeah, he got him sent off. But I was torn by him. Makaleli, who I mentioned, and then Vieira, just because Vieira was just a powerhouse and a great player as well.
And next to, well, I suppose you got your number 6 and the two in front, just either side of Busquets. You've got Xavi or Xavi, however they pronounce it, and Zinedine Zidane.
Oh god, yeah. This was really, really hard for me. This is probably the hardest positions to do centre mid because there's too many options. Like for Xavi, I wanted a tempo player, so I was thinking either Xavi or Pirlo, and I just went with Xavi because I was just like, as much as I love Pirlo, Pirlo always used to talk about how Xavi was better than him, so I was just like, okay, fine, I'll just go with Xavi. And people might be thinking, why have you gone Xavi over, let's say, Iniesta? I think Iniesta was the better player over Xavi.
I was going to drop that,
Xavi was more of your tempo player. That's why I went Xavi. And Zidane, it's a shame. I only saw that latter end of Zidane's career, especially the '06 World Cup. But what a player he was. I mean, I remember him in the '04 Euros. He lit it up for France. The '06 World Cup, he was amazing. And that was his final ever tournament. So you got to bear in mind, that was a latter end of his career, and he achieved that. But again, I was torn with him because I was tempted to either put him, Iniesta, and the other red herring I was thinking of putting in was Kaka, because Kaka was amazing, but I just went with Zidane because, I mean, what was Fergie's quote? Like, you give me 10 wooden planks and Zidane, I'll win you the Champions League. I mean, it says it all,
really. On the left, wide left forward, you've got Thierry Henry.
Yeah, people might be thinking weird as well. You're not putting Henry down the middle, but you guys will see why I put him down on the left. But obviously, when he was playing for Arsenal, he'd always drift out to the left a lot, and that's where he'd start a lot of his goals and a lot of his attacks. Damage. He was an absolute menace. I know he was at left wing for Barca under Pep as well, which he did quite well at. But I just think I had to play him on the left only because of where the certain striker that is going to be in this team had to be inputted in. But legend Henry. He was probably my favourite player, like from a rival club growing up. Henry was just something special. The Vavavoom. Everything about him was just amazing. I wish he played for Man United, but absolute legend of the game.
Yeah, like you said, he used to go down the left and just like rinse people, and then he used to just cut inside and just bins it.
Yeah, amazing.
What a player.
Absolutely amazing.
On right wing forward, you've got obviously your goat, Lionel Messi.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't put him in, people would have been like, "What's wrong with you?" But I mean, I was thinking about like, do I not just include the goats? But I was like, nah, I've got. If I didn't, it'd be blasphemy. I'd be on death row right now. But yeah, Messi. I mean, there are other players I was thinking about for both flanks. I mean, I was thinking of Robin on the right. I was thinking of Figo as well. So I saw Figo for a little bit before he retired. On the left, I was thinking of David Villa or Ribéry. But for me, Messi and Henry. You hear those two names in the XI? I think Gary Neville and Patrice Evra, bless them, are going to have some very, very long nights against those two.
And you've got Ronaldo, R9, the original, as people say it.
The original R9. What a player. Again, I think from a, taking out Man United, Premier League, because I mentioned Henry was one of my favourite players from an ex-club, from a rival club growing up, but from a wider kind of perspective, R9 for me growing up was my favourite player from outside of Man United in the Premier League. Just everything about him was just amazing. Even the adverts that he was part of were just amazing. it's just a shame that I never got to see his prime when he was at Barcelona, at Inter, at PSV, because everyone always talks about how that prime is the best footballer that ever existed, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen highlights on YouTube, but I can't really comment because I never saw him. But what I did see of Ronaldo, the best striker I've ever seen in terms of just like pure number nine, like what a player, what an absolute freak, what a phenomenon as he's nicknamed.
He was. His days at Barca and Inter Milan, he was just like, step overs, flip flap, just elite speed. And the World Cup in '02, the '98 one, obviously there was the rumours about him having the seizure, and then obviously in '02 he kind of redeemed himself. Bit of a dodgy haircut, but yeah, what a player. Who is your skipper in your legends?
Oof, that's tough. I'd probably go
Because
Maldini.
there's quite a few captains here. You've got Lahm, you've got
There's a
Maldini.
few. Lahm, Maldini, Buffon, Zidane, Xavi, and I'd say Messi, but I wouldn't really put Messi as a captain, or Henri. So I think those five. So Zidane, Xavi, Maldini, Lahm, or Buffon. But I personally go Maldini, centre back, legend of the game, probably the best centre back of all time. I mean, again, centre backs, people might have been thinking who else you could have put. I was thinking of Sergio Ramos, but again, quite rash. JT, I know he's not the best person, in terms of what he's achieved. Well, in terms of like Wayne Bridge and all that, and obviously people still don't respect him for it. But he was such a great centre back. I think he was probably England's best centre back. And then Fabio Cannavaro was an option, but Maldini, God, that guy was just something special. That guy was born, like, I think he was born out of his mother's womb, and he already knew how to say defend.
He was born to
Italian.
defend,
like,
wasn't
that guy
he?
was, yeah, he
It's
was
the
amazing. And he was a legend
Italians.
as well.
Yeah, it's Italians. They're just born to defend. So it's
Born to defend.
it's in their blood. Um,
And they're great leaders as well. Like, I'd die for Maldini if he was my captain.
Honourable mentions. R10, Ronaldinho.
Very honourable mention. You could have put him in there instead of, like, let's say Zidane, for example.
Yeah.
I think the only thing with Ronaldinho was he was more like of a joyous player to watch. Like, if you wanted to make a team that you just would love to have just watched play just because of the beautiful game, then Ronaldinho makes it. But I just think in this side, I just don't think he would have been as effective. When you got players like your Messi, and Henri, and Zidane, it'd have been hard to have seen Ronaldinho flourish, I think, in this side. But what a legend he was. Again, people were obviously torn between R9 and Ronaldinho growing up as well. But yeah, Ronaldinho, what a player. He's probably the reason why many people fell in love with the game, because he always had a smile on his face. It's just a shame he's still stuck in a Paraguayan prison right now. But yeah.
And who's your manager for this team?
Oh,
So you chose
that's tough.
you chose Jose for the United one.
Well, if we went Jose for the Manchester United one, we have to have his biggest rival, I'd say, in the other dugout, and that's Pep Guardiola. People might have been like, what about Wenger? But I'd say Pep is probably, Jose's biggest rival because of what happened in Spain with Barcelona, Madrid, the history between those sides the history between those two when Jose was at Barca when he was coming through the ranks and Pep was still a player. And obviously they went to Manchester, had that rivalry as well. But, you got, Pep, the definition of total football, tiki-taka, all that kind of attacking football, and then Jose with the whole pragmatic approach about the low block, about just winning no matter how you play football.
Stinking the place out, parking the
bus. Whatever. It'd make for an exciting game and very, very interesting as well, for sure.
It would, definitely. That's amazing. Two top sides here, two teams with, again, legends and gladiators of the game. Well worthy. Brilliant. That's amazing. Really, thank you for spending the time to create these two sides, because I'm sure it was tough.
Oh, it was tough. My head was hurting afterwards. I was like, God, I feel like I let myself down, let my family down, like missing out some of these players. But yeah, no, it was great. It was really good as well, because I never really thought about it as well. Like, because I thought about all these great players before, but I never thought of who would make my XI. And even now, sometimes I'm like, would I play him? I'm like, no, I've said it. That's my XI. I'd like to see what XIs anyone else puts out, and I'd love to give them a game on FIFA, just seeing those potential sides playing each other for sure.
So, what do you think of Sani's 11s here? So yeah, comments below, give us a shout, get in touch with Sani as well. Let him know what you think also. That's the end of the show. Again, thank you to my special guest Sani. Check him out on his socials. Sani, plug yourself, bro. give a shout out to your socials.
Yeah, no, thank you, Kaiser. Yeah, so follow Sani _ that sports guy on either TikTok or Instagram. On YouTube, it's just Sani that sports guy. Check out the sessions, check out the fireside chats, check out the Instagram. You will not be disappointed. And in the words of Russell Crowe from Gladiator, are you not entertained? Because you will be entertained for sure.
Brilliant. Yeah, check him out. Honestly, you're gonna really love his content. Follow him, like his videos. Check him out. Also as well, check this channel out as well. You know, socials are just below here. We'll be having more interviews in the future and some other content as well, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching this video. Again, like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Right, so I'm just trying to think. During this video, I'll cut that. Joining me for a very hang on. So on this channel, we hope to have special guests coming up, and hang on, I know what to say now. Or is there expressions oozing causing?
My charger on, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Kaiser, can I put my laptop? Sorry, I hate to interrupt you, just because I don't want the thing to die. Sorry. You're gonna clip this, right?
Probably.